Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. Hello. Yeah, there we go, it's working. Hello, again. It's me, Skyjacker. For the final round of the SS and MS, no, Sir Stirling Moss Shield. Final round, so we're at Red Bull Ring. The GP track, or the track limits nightmare track, as we like to call it as well. So we're just sitting here watching Barry Twins at the minute. We can see that he's the fastest out on track so far, but I do know that when you join a lobby this far into it, you get the latest timings. You don't have the full timings of everybody's, but Barry's the fastest we're seeing at the minute with a 1 minute 37.0, which isn't too shabby a time really in a Group 4 car. Oh look, Daz has come out of the pits and has just done a 36.7. Anyway, so this is again, this is the final round. I would like to do this again in the future. I've enjoyed it as much as I've not really done too well, I think. But it's been a blast. It's been great actually watching people race rather than being out on track myself and learning new bits and pieces. So those who have watched it so far, thank you very much. It's been a blast, and thank you for joining me. So without further ado, if you've missed any of the previous weeks, tonight we have a 12-minute qualifying at 8 o'clock, which is in a few minutes if I remember rightly. Then we've got a 15-minute sprint race where the guys are allowed to use soft tyres only. And then we'll have a short break, and then after that we will have a 30-minute feature race where the medium compound is a mandatory compound, so they have to use medium. They don't have to start on it, they don't have to start on softs or anything like that. They can pick and choose as long as they use the medium. We have seen that starting on the medium and non-stopping has been the preferred way so far this season. Last week we did have a different round, which was a double points 60-minute endurance race, but we're back to the normal format tonight. So let's say hello, see who's on the chat. Good evening, sir. Strap in, says Ensign Hewitt. I am, because this is going to be quite tight. I think we worked it out that there's 4. Oh, what was it in the chat? This is a post from Thingamajig, so it's this isn't my own words, but tonight is going to be sweet and sour. Sweet and sour is the theme of this final round. For one person, it's going to be sweet. For 3 others, it's going to be very sour. Again, only Thingamajig could come out with something like that, and I completely and utterly butchered it. So let's give you the update on the tables quickly, shall we? So let's start off with the teams. So Team Talleyrand in the lead with 222 points. After Noxie couldn't make it last week, Team Guesty is in second place with 202 points. 20 points, and if Noxie and Jim, which they are here, in 5 and 6, I think it might be a bit of a gap to claw back for Team Guesty, but I'm sure they'll definitely try. Team Psycho in third with 193 points. So what's that? My maths. 11 points behind Team Guesty. So again, that's quite close still. Falling away a little bit at the moment then is Team RS with 128 points and Team 86 with 117 points. So again, only 11 points there. So could be some team bragging rights up for grabs if the guys perform. And then we'll look at the drivers' drop table. So the drivers have dropped their worst score so far in the season. So these are the points after the drop scores. Noxie is still leading with 111 points. Daz in second place with 100 points. Ensign Hewitt in third with 98 points, so just 2 points behind Daz. That's one place if he finishes in the top 5 to claw that back, and that would then go back to count back, which Daz would win at the moment due to having 2 wins as opposed to Ensign's 1. Then we've got Jim with 91 points in 4th. So again, only 7 points behind. It's tight. Barry Twins in 5th with 84 points. Koi Carp in 6th with 74 points. Bandit in 7th with 61 points. Thingamajig in 8th with 58 points, so only 3 behind Bandit. And Pat in 9th with 52 points. And Yokas, who's missed more than 1 round, and 32 points in 10th. Completely butchered that as well. Woohoo! So then, by my working out, again, we're going back to my mental maths, which ain't great. I think up to Koi Carp has a mathematical possibility, but it would take everybody in front of him on the table, so Barry, Jim, Ensign, Daz and Noxie, all to randomly quit out of both races. I think optimistically, Ensign Newitt has a chance of taking the crown if Noxie and Daz have 2 really, really bad races and finish 9th and 10th, with Daz in 9th and Noxie in 10th in both races. Daz needs Noxie to have some bad races to take the win. So I think the favour is falling on Noxie's lap, and I think the other guys have really got to do really, really well to knock him off top perch at the moment. So, but we'll see. This should be a good race, good round. Let's have a quick chat, catch up with the chat. Ensign Newitt, his leg is jiggling like Christian Horner's on the pit wall. I'll tell you what, mate, it's a good job you don't have a wheel, because that wouldn't be any good for you, would it? And Homestick says, good luck everyone. Yes, mate, I'm going to need it almost as much as what the guys will. So let's get in on the... why is the way? So what we'll do what I've done most other rounds. We'll jump on board with somebody on an out lap, or maybe their first flying lap, and we'll go through the trick. Thingamajig. Yes, my man. See, you're not holding the front end still. A tiny little bit of brake, mate. Tiny little bit of brake, and that will hold the front end still. Also, doing it on a flat bit of track helps. He's not listening, is he? No, he's not listening to the stream. Is anybody else doing donuts? Daz? No, Daz is being nice and sensible. And just thingamajig. Good lad, well done. And for that, I will give you one of them. Oh no, that didn't work because it come up. Right then, so what do I do? Racer Brown, hello Sky, hello Racer Brown. Racer Brown is saying good luck everybody as well. Or good luck all. So then, who's out in front? Who's in the lead? Thingamajig Thingamajig's just leaving the pit now. With Ensign Newitt doing his normal tactic of staying. He says staying out of the way, but really he's staying in the pits to make sure he doesn't get in anybody's way. In his mind. So Jim and Noxie, ooh, they're playing the towing game. They're going to tow each other around for a lap or two. Do some team tactics. Obviously Daz not too far behind them really. Barry Twins next on track with Koi Carp following him. With Thingamajig, wrong button. Thingamajig just coming round turn 2. Officially it's 3, but it's 2. The other one you can't even call a corner. And then we've got Ensign Newitt, nice and spaced out of the back. Yeah. Tell you what, let's sit on board with the championship leader, shall we? Okay. No. What? Why is it doing that? Why is it looking backwards? Oh. Why is it doing this? Well, we could have a lap looking backwards, but we don't really want to do that, do we? So why won't it change? Oh, thank God for that. Right then, so as important, all important, the last corner, Noxie looked like he did quite well there. So getting this one, you see Jim getting all over this curb. I don't particularly like doing that. Unstables the car too much. Get over that yellow sausage curb, run it a little bit wide. That's it, nicely on the curb. And I've moved on the run up to T2. I think officially this silly little kink is T2. Anyway, braking on the 100-metre board or just after it. Yeah, that's it. Get up and down to first gear. Yeah, he's missed the apex on that one. He'll have to go again on this lap, I think. Nice long run down to turn 3. Well, turn 4 officially, but turn 3. I absolutely love this corner. The first 2 corners I'm not a fan of, but this one, brake just before the sign. Second gear, get the front end over the apex. Love it. It could have let it run wide a little bit there, but that was textbook really for me. Again, this is a nice section here. You want to brake just about now. Reduce the speed, keep the front end into the corner. It's really easy to let the front end push out wide, but keep it in. Again, braking now. Again, get that front end into the corner. Now abuse this right hand curve, absolutely abuse it. And then run, that gives you a good run all the way into the turn 9 and 10. Again, I love these 2 corners here. You want to brake just on the white line, get over that AstroTurf, don't run too wide on the exit, and again, dip just before the tyre marks, get over the apex, give yourself the nice drive to the line. So we'll see as they start coming in. So Jim has set a 136.7 with Noxie a 1/10.5 behind him. Daz has jumped up to P1 with a 136.6. With Jim, that's 8.5 hundredths behind, ahead of Jim in second place. Third place we've got Barry Twins, which is just over a third behind Jim, with Noxie not very far behind Barry Twins at all there. Noxie doing 4 thousandths faster on this lap, but it was that corner there where he really lost his lap, I think. And then Ensign Ewert's pumped in just under a second behind Noxie. He's going to have to go faster than that if he wants to take some points off of Noxie. Daz at the moment's in the prime position to do so. The Thingamajig in 6th with a 138.2, and Koikart bringing up the rear with a 138.9. I was asked earlier to do some more whooshes because apparently I've not done them enough. It's kind of easy to get engrossed into everything, so tell you what, seeing as he's leading, let's give Daz a whoosh. And his lovely helmet. Wow, look at that, nearly 3 tenths up on his fastest lap, setting purple sectors. I think we'll stay on board with him a bit, actually saying that Jim's going to be the next man across the line coming into turn 9. A little bit wide on the apex there, but nothing too major. On the exit, sorry, not the apex. Again, lovely, just keeping it inside the white lines. As he drags the car to the lines, 1.5 seconds down. Did Noxie improve? Noxie did not improve. Daz has extended his margin. It's now just over 3 tenths. Koikart has jumped up to P5 with a 137.2. I don't think anybody else is improving. Thingamajig and Ensign Ewert. Thingamajig's coming across the line. Tell you what, let's give this man a whoosh. Really? It's why, Thingamajig. Why for yes. Yes. The question is, are you ready? Yes, I am ready. Not ready. Ready. Anyway, let's carry on. So Dad's still leading. Still provisional pole sitter at the moment. With Ensign Ewert's jumped up to P4 whilst I was having my little ready rant there. So, sorry, P3 with 4 tenths behind, but he is ahead of Noxie. Noxie in P5 at the moment with a 136.9, so he's well within the 137s, but his last lap was a 137.4, so maybe he made a mistake on that one, maybe trying to push a bit too much out of the car. We'll just see as he comes around the corner. Out of the last corner now, he's giving himself plenty of room left on the track there. Jim's gone faster with a 136.0. Noxie's just put it into second place. Jim's gone fastest. Wow. Sorry, Jim. 1:36.0. That's a stellar time, my son. Wow, well done indeed. Let's hope that none of the others can catch it. I mean, it's not your first podium this season, I don't think. So I would have the stat sheet, but somebody's not done it, have they? So he's going purples again into the first sector. He's run a little bit wide there on the exit, but it might have cost him a little bit of time. But it did look like he was quite sizable margin up. With Noxie in second to Team Talleyrand, front row lockout again. I want to say again. I believe that they have had a couple of front row lockouts this season. Well, certainly front row lockouts at the end of the finish. 1-2 finishes. So can Daz reclaim his top step? He's got 3 temps to find, 4 temps to find to take pole. And, we've got 4 minutes left, so we're coming up to 2/3 of the way through the qualifying session. No, Daz is down. Daz is down. What about Jim? How's Jim doing? Let's see Jim go round the last couple of corners. This is a very nice helmet there, Jim. Let's have a look. Let's give you a swoosh. I'm going to have a stupid R on it, is it? No, it's got a number 66 on it. Look at that. That's quite a nice number 66 as well. See, not enough swooshes. He's 1/10 down. What about Noxie? Noxie does go quicker, but not quick enough. He's still 2 temps behind Jim. Barry Twins! Barry Twins is 1:35.9. Barry Twins has just taken provisional pole off of Team Talleyrand. And he runs it well wide on the exit of turn 1, and I think he followed Daz off there as well. So how many laps they got left? I think they got this one. I think they might have 2 more laps after this one to go before the end of the session. I think Ensign Hewitt's just coming across the line. No, thingamajig's there. Ensign Hewitt there in 5th. He does improve on his time at 36.5, which is still 6 temps off of Barry Twins. Barry Twins, wow, that's a phenomenal time. Clearly he's learning a lot and listening to Mr. Alien Monza Racer Brown. I'm sure he's got more nicknames than that, but they're the only 2 that spring to mind. And yeah, he's a fantastic guy to try and learn from. 1:35.9, so nobody else has got into the 35s. Nobody's broke the 1:36 at the minute. Jim's come very close. 700ths off of the 1:36 mark. I keep missing sectors, don't I? So I'd love to be able to keep an eye on the map and the screen and the times and the places and watch these beautiful cars drive around. Whoa! Was that Noxie? Noxie just kiboshing out of nowhere. Oh, he's back on track. Ooh, that doesn't bode well, does it really? So Jim does not improve. 1:36.6. Noxie has left the room. Oh no. So that takes Daz up to P3. I'm sure if he does get back in the room before the end of qualifying, he's only got 2 minutes left to do it. So we're going to have these guys are going to have 2 laps left. Koi Carp's going to have 2 laps left. Thingamajig's green. Does he improve? He does improve. Goes up to P4, jumping his teammate and Koi Carp. Well done, lad. I'll tell you what, that deserves another disgusting R. It's bad enough they're plastered all over your car. Anyway, let's carry on. So if Noxie does manage to get back into the lobby before the race starts, we will exit and we will put him towards the back. Towards the back, at the back, because obviously he's left halfway through qualifying. We do try and facilitate issues like this as much as humanly possible. So anyway, Jim, I missed the sector again. Barry Twins, as you're getting 4,000s up on his own time. Wow, he's flying. No, he's run too wide there. Yeah, that's not going to improve your time, mate. Sorry. So we'll see you, Jim. Jim coming around the last corner. So look, let's ride on board with Jim as he's trying to take provisional pole. He's 6 temps down, so we'll watch this last lap with Jim. We'll keep an eye on any drivers that go faster. Second gear, 3rd gear, stays in 3rd gear, keeps the momentum going. There you go, Noxie's back, so we'll end up resetting after qualifying. Runs up to turn 2, proper turn 2. or official turn 2, whichever one, take your pick. Ooh, lost my controller's turn. He's 8,000ths down on his own time. That's nothing though. Really, that's it. Get over the, yeah, beautiful driving. 8,000ths is nothing. You can find that in a corner in a braking zone and getting the power down. Ensign Hewitt's done a 136.2, taking him up to 3rd place. And with now really, if Noxie's starting at the back with Ensign and Daz in 3rd and 4th, really they want to be up there with beating Barry Twins, getting less than a 136. Jim coming round now, braking nicely there, get that front end in there. Front end's in nicely, just kisses the curb there, runs it nice and wide on the exit, brake now just to drop it down to 3rd. No, he's 2 tenths down nearly. I don't think he'll get there, unfortunately for Jim. I think that's a bit much to take in the last couple of corners, that one. So we'll just watch him as he comes round. There might have been the pressure of me watching him. Come around the last corner. Gonna give it the beans. Look at that, he runs it just about within the track limits. And 5 tenths down. Barry Twins, you get one of them, my son. Oosh. Doesn't improve. Daz coming around the last corner. Oh, no. Koi Carp, sorry. My bad, Koi. So Koi Carp's like just jumped his teammate into P4 with Daz in P5, thingamajig, bring it round. And can he improve? He's giving it a wiggle. He's giving it an R wiggle in P6. So that would be Noxie starting in P7 then. So Barry Twins, Jim, Ensign, Koi, Daz, thingamajig. I thought we had 10 in this room. Where's Pat? Where's Bandit? Oh, Bandit will be watching the football, won't he? Because it's Holland playing Argentina, isn't it? Where's Pat? Oh, Pat is Chinese. That's where the sweet and sour stuff comes from. So at the moment, it's looking quite sweet for Noxie and a little bit sour for the rest. Well, maybe actually the other way around. Maybe a little bit sour for Ensign Hewitt and Daz not being able to secure the bonus point for pole position. And maybe even a little bit sour for Noxie, but a little bit of relief at the same time, given that the other two didn't manage to steal, well, take pole position and earn that extra point. Matt Sykes, Mr. Psycho says, evening, sir. How the devil are you? You okay? Yeah? Yeah? Racer Brown. Stonking lap from Bazza. Yes, mate. It was a flying lap. Brilliant lap. Pat had a minor technical. Didn't quite miss all of the qualifying session. What, you in the room now, yeah? There you are. Yeah, so you are. Yeah. Is anybody out on track? Now while Mr. Talleyrand is reordering the grid, because he's now got to move everybody around into where they're qualified. Let's have a look at the back of some of these cars. Does it work in the pits? Should be a Y. Ooh, Pat's going out. Pat. So I'm imagining that Pat will. I'm going to leave the big numbers on just to annoy thingamajig when he watches it back now. That'll be something fun. So Pat probably will go to the back of the grid, behind Noxie, seeing as Noxie dropped out of quali, and Pat didn't make it for the start. Not sure though. So this bit's always a little bit up in the air, but that's what I would do if I was hosting. So Well, look at the big numbers there, thingamajig. Big numbers. Yeah. Talleyrand has started the final. So what I will try and do is give you an updated table after the first race, which probably means I'm going to miss out on a smoke break, but hey ho. So then, what we got here for the quality, for the grid then, so Barry Twins, Jim, Ensign, Hewitt, Coy, Daz, Thingamajig, Pat and Noxie. Okay. I'll personally would have that the other way around, but no problem. Get rid of the big numbers, and Barry Twins on pole. Will he get a good launch off the line? Ooh, pressing buttons and dropping the keyboard. And it's a long hold, and they're off. And they're going, and Barry Twins looks like a good launch there with Ensign Hewitt getting a better one than Jim. He's on the outside of Jim as they come up into turn one. No, Jim manages to stay ahead of Ensign, but Ensign's now got the nice drag, but Jim is in the tow. We've got the two Team Psycho cars behind going side by side, but we'll just stay on board with Ensign and see if he makes a move into turn two. He does, he lines up, he switches to the inside. Will he outbrake himself? Will he outbrake Jim? Jim, nice, seen it coming, just about leaving enough room there. That's Ensign Hewitt up into second place with Barry Twins, pulling about a second out. Nice and comfy in the lead, so let's have a quick run through then. So we said Jim, we just saw Jim losing second place into turn two. We've got Coy Carp and Daz battling for 4 and 5, P4, P5, and that's Daz. I think that looked like a little bit of a team move. Coy Carp letting Daz through. Obviously giving him the best opportunity he can to take the championship win, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Noxie straight away passing Thingamajig and Pat in the opening lap. Thingamajig just ahead of Pat, and Pat bringing up the rear, obviously with no practice or warm-up or anything like that. So let's have a look then. Barry Twins still just under a second, 9 points, 96 tenths, if you want to say it like the real commentators do. So it's dropping down a little bit now, so Ensign Hewitt might have the grip between his teeth now and is determined to push. We do, tiny little bit wide there. We do see that Ensign does tend to perform better in races than maybe his qualifying positions would suggest. But Jim's right up his bottom now. Moves to the outside to get a better line out of turn one. There's a little bit of contact there. Looked like a little bit of a nudge in the rear. I don't know. A nudge in the rear at the apex. Ensign Hewitt as well. And Red Bull Ring does tend to generate some pretty decent racing. Lots of runoff areas that the guys can be brave in. But it looks like that Ensign Hewitt just had a little bit of a wiggle coming out of turn two there, with Jim now right on his case. And it looks like Coy Carp has just got ahead of Daz. Maybe Daz had a little bit of a wiggle as well. Oh, replay. Oh, missed it. Sorry, guys. Missed it. Daz must have had an issue coming out of turn two because he was a bit slow there. So Barry Twins a second and a half. These two side by side. I mean, we've seen this. I think last week. Was it last week? It was, because Jim pulled an awesome move around the outside of Ensign Hewitt in Paddock Hill Bend, which was brilliant. Around the outside in Paddock Hill, that's Jeopardy galore. But Jim's now got the inside line into turn 9. Will he outbrake himself, or will he outbrake late on the brakes? He's got his nose ahead now coming out of the corner. Plenty of room given, loads of racing room given. Ensign Hewitt just takes the outside line, which just squeezes him a little bit. There you go. Now Jim's got a whole car ahead with Coy Carp closing in on these two. Tell you what, let's get on board with Coy Carp. Watch this glorious battle ensue ahead, and see if he can get stuck into it. As we see there, Daz is just about a second behind Coy. We can see him in the rearview mirror. We can also see him if we do this. No, not that one. Silly boy. Right, what am I doing? I've lost now. Ensign Hewitt getting another wiggle one coming out of turn 2. It looked like Barry did as well there. I saw very briefly in a flash. So is Coy going to get the run on Ensign? Pulls out to the right hand side. And now to the left. to distract Ensign Hewitt. Ensign Hewitt's break late. Ooh, that's... Oh, no, no, Jim. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, that went wrong there. That went very wrong. Oh, no, not too late. That's what I'm after. So, as we see here, Jim, Ensign Hewitt defending from Coy Cart, might have distracted him a little bit. He broke himself, broke too late into the side of Jim, pushed Jim's off, and Jim's back end comes around in the gravel pit. Such a shame. But, Ensign Hewitt has quite rightly redressed, which has now thrown Ensign Hewitt's race right out of the window, because that's now Noxie up into P4, chasing Daz. Noxie's trying to grab this by both hands, isn't he? Definitely. Is anybody on the chat? One eye will do tonight. Well, you're not racing eye. Gammy eye, but not bad. Well, it didn't do you any harm last night, did it? You gammy eye. Oh, guys, I might be slow today. I've got a gammy eye. No, anyway, but only one eye will do tonight. Yeah, it did last night as well, mate. Oh my God, Coy Calf is up in the second place. Oh yeah, from Noxie and Jim's coming together. But Barry Twins, sorry Barry Twins, steaming away in first place, getting out ahead of all the chaos and everything else that's ensued behind him. Let's pulled out a nice 2.5 second gap. Well done, lad. Well done. Coy Calf again avoiding, well, doing that distracting move left and right, distracting Ensign Hewitt, making him miss his braking point. And Noxie's up into P3. So again, Noxie's on fire with the fastest lap as well, with a 136.9. With Daz chomping on his heels, with Thingamajig right behind. Look, that one. Right behind Daz. Not really lost sight of Noxie after the start of the race. And we'll see if he can make some more inroads into the guys ahead of him. Jim has dropped down to P6 after falling out of the wash. Let's see if he can make some recovery. He's definitely got the pace after securing pole position. Still a little bit way to go left in the race. We've got 8 minutes, so we're not even halfway through. And we're already starting to see some red slivers on the tyres, and the guys are already down to 3/4 of the tank. Look at that, Jim. Fastest lap, 136.8, nearly about a tenth faster than his teammate. Ensign Hewitt quite rightly redressing. But unfortunately, I think that's killed his race, and now P7. But he does stand a chance to catch up with Jim. Well, maybe not if Jim's setting fastest laps, but and laps a second faster than Ensign's last lap. But still plenty of time to pull some recovery out of the bag. With Pat 5.5 seconds behind Ensign Hewitt. Clearly, as we said, no warm up, no practice, no qualifying. It's quite hard to jump into a car after not doing anything and be quick and on the pace. You can't expect it. So keep pushing, mate. Next race might be a good one for you. Barry Twin still 2.6 seconds ahead of Coy. He's really not pulling away from Coy. With a 137.3 his last lap. Coy Cart with a 137.9 his last lap. So maybe Barry Twins has made a mistake on this lap. Maybe not. Oh, look at this little trio of cars. I'll tell you what, we'll sit on board with Thingamajig and watch the battle ensue. And then that one, and then that one, and that one. Sit on board with Thingamajig, looking in nicely over that apex curve. Keeping it nice and steady within the track limits in front on the exit, and again, it's nicely in Noxie's toe. Noxie and Daz are fighting like mad, aren't they? Because they were the other way around. Daz going very, very defensive. Daz staying very defensive. Thingamajig a little bit wide on the apex there, but nothing too massive. Still this massive long drag race up to the end, up to turn 2. Noxie's looking to pull out to the left-hand side, which is the outside line onto turn 2, which is not the easiest place to try and overtake, really. Got to brake late. Take a late apex, take a wide apex, or switch it back underneath like Noxie's doing now. Still hasn't managed to get in front of Daz. That's still being a little bit of a roadblock with Jim. Jim is closing in, less than a second behind Thingamajig right now, but Thingamajig needs to stay in these two's toe to stand any chance of really fighting off Jim. It's gone a little bit wide onto the marbles there, which is going to hurt him in the next couple of corners. So we still see Barry Twins out front with a nice healthy margin with Koi Carp just ahead of these pair. Still close enough to catch though. Ooh, Daz looks like he's drifted a little bit wide. No, Noxie didn't decide to shove his nose in the door there. And the whole time we're watching these two battle, Jim is catching up Thingamajig. They go to the right hand side of the track. Noxie's doing what Koi Carp did earlier. Will it distract Daz? No, Daz is cool, calm head with his bionic knee, huh? Very calmly managed, and all the hard time. Half a second Jim now. Jim's within half a second of us now. And again, Daz and Noxie moving over to the right hand side of the track. Daz not giving Noxie a sniff of a door. They break for turn one again. Noxie goes for the switchback underneath, but it doesn't pull off. Jim's just getting closer and closer in the mirror. Thingamajig's getting closer to Noxie. It's probably a little bit too far back to make a move into turn two, so if he takes it nice and steady, brakes sensibly, that's it. It might have a good run into turn three. That's it, that's good. Power. Getting Noxie's toe. Getting Noxie's toe. Get the closest car, follow the closest car. Toe's going to be bigger there, but Noxie's now on the right hand side of Daz going into turn three, and they break. As they break, Daz looks like he takes a wider line. He's going for the switchback underneath, but Noxie seals the deal on there. But I don't think this battle is over yet as they head into turn 4 and 5. Tiny little bit of nudge maybe from Daz onto Noxie there. I think there's much other racing going on. Jim's right up close to us. Let's jump out the car and have a look. So Barry Twins 5 seconds nearly ahead of Koi Carp. He's got this one managed, hasn't he? Manage your pace, keep your head, look at those consistent lap times. 38.1, 37.3, 37.5, 37.6 with a 37.4. Very consistent there, Baz. Koi Carp in second place with Noxie closing in on him now. Noxie looking for P2. Thingamajig to run on Daz on the inside line. I take it Daz made a mistake out of the last corner, well, out of maybe turn 9 with his battling with Noxie. Now he's under threat from Thingamajig and Jim. Thingamajig moving to the left hand side. Is he going to get a run on him? No, Daz pulls back in front. Is Thingamajig going to try and switch it underneath for the inside line into the corner? No, but Jim looks like he wanted to take a look at Thingamajig. And now Noxie's right up the bumper of Koi Carp, looking to jump up into second place with only 2.5 minutes remaining. So what we got to this and maybe one more lap. We'll see. And Noxie makes the move on Koi Carp into turn 3 under the brake-in. Lovely move. Beautiful move. Daz in P4, still harassed by Noxie. Not Noxie, Thingamajig. And Thingamajig is being harassed by Jim. Ensign Hewitt is 4 seconds behind. I think Ensign Hewitt had a couple of bad laps after that. A couple of bad laps after that, not for Jim. And Pat's still struggling to get into a rhythm, setting 139.5, 138.4 for lap 6, so not too bad. Barry. 2 more laps. 2 laps to not lose 5.8 seconds to Noxie. I think that's good. Definitely. So Noxie pulled out a 1.5 seconds, and oh my god, I've missed it. Thingamajig has made a move and got past Daz. So let's have a look. No, he's already there. So Daz losing out to Thingamajig and Jim. And now Thingamajig is harassing Koi Carp. I mean, this is some brilliant racing by Thingamajig, and I'm missing all his moves now. He's going for the outside for turn 2. Is he going to swip it back underneath to get the power down early to get on the run? Jim closing in as well. Work out what he's going to do, attack or defend, or a bit of both. Daz looks like he might have dropped off of these guys a little bit, or just some dirty tyres and wants to clean them up. Thingamajig late brakes, looks like it, into turn 3. Keeps it well managed, well under control. Thingamajig and Koi Carp. They've raced with each other a long time ago. I can't remember, maybe in the Clios, maybe, I don't know. I honestly can't remember the last time that these two stand out, that they've battled hard on track together. And obviously both joined BRC way back in the early days, and Koi Carp was one of the OGs, if you like, one of the originals. And Thingamajig breaks for the inside line to turn 9. Don't think there was contact there, but it looks like Koi Carp made a little bit of a mistake and ran wide. And he's right round wide again. That's giving Thingamajig the run on the inside, and Jim. Is Jim going to jump up to P4? He does. Koi Carp switches to the inside. No, that one. But Thingamajig and Jim take the outer lines and manage to stay ahead in the corner. And we're on the final lap. So Pat's just about to come across the line. Well done, Pat. And smashes into the barrier for good measure. So Barry Twins in P1, plenty of time. Noxie second, plenty of space. These two, Thingamajig in P3 with Jim in P4. Oh, Thingamajig's just slightly outbroke himself. Jim takes the inside line, well, takes the corner, takes the exit, and passes Thingamajig, with the two Team Psycho boys fighting over 5th and 6th place. But let's get back on to Jim and Thingamajig, because there's still plenty of corners left to go for this battle. Thingamajig trying everything. He's lined himself up for the right-hander, but then the track goes the other way and for the next corner. It's a tough place to try and make a move. If anything, you want to position yourself to try and make a move into the last two corners right now. Thingamajig getting nice and wide, getting that car pointed in early. Has he got up? No, he's still behind Jim. And there is a threat that Daz might be closing in. So let's have a look at Barry Twins crossing the line. We'll have to come back to these guys. Well done, sir. Well done. Noxie, second place after starting last. Benefited from Jim and Jim finished off the podium after his off earlier on in the race with Thingamajig in 4th. Daz in 5th, and I'm too late with the button. Sorry guys, I'm so bad at this. So bad. Wow, that was brilliant. Brilliant racing. Well done. He gets a trophy and a wreath. Right then, let's go to the results screen. So I'm trying to do my laptop on my lap and my controller in my hand. So Barry Twins in P1. Oh, come on. Okay, so where were we? My bad. So Barry Twins in P1 takes the win. I believe that is his first win of the season. Congratulations, Barry Twins. Well done. Again, I've said that like 3 or 4 times now, haven't I? So let's say it one more time. Well done, Barry Twins. Noxie taking second place after starting at the rear of the grid. So that's a brilliant result from him. Jim, so Team Talleyrand, again dominating the podium. So Jim taking P3 after a fantastic battle with Thingamajig. I actually think Thingamajig was quite upset with P4, but I'm sure he had some fun racing. He says he doesn't normally like battling, but I think he does really. And not far behind. Talleyrand, too quick. Thingamajig in P4, Daz in P5, Koi Carp in P6, Ensign Hewitt in P7. With Pat bringing up the rear, as we said, it's hard to just jump into a car and start off from scratch. So then, Jim gets the fastest lap with a 1:36.8. Let's have a quick catch up with the chat. Never really covered. I just made it though. About 4 minutes to spare. Racer Brown says why. Pat never really recovered from a couple of messy laps at the start, and the last 2 weren't great either. What's going on with my stream? Why am I so far behind? I'm so far behind my own stream. What? Never really recovered from a couple of messy laps at the start, and the last two weren't great either. Psycho saying nice one, Baz. Barry saying hell yeah, and Racer Brown saying yes, Bazza. Yes indeed, yes indeed. Right. So what I'm going to do is going to go and update the table, and I'll be back in a bit. hello again. That was a bit longer than what I was expecting. I also ran out for a cig. So anyway, let's just catch up on the chat quickly. Yeah, congratulations to Bazza, Noxie and Jim, indeed. Thingamajig's racing channel. You do other racing stuff? We know he does, and he's brilliant, and that's why he gets other groups approaching him to go and do their events and leagues and stints for endurance races and stuff like that, because Thingamajig is definitely one of the best, if not the best, out there. And yeah, well, you don't want me anymore. Luckily this is the last one you have to part with me for, but I'm sure I will do this again in the future. I would enjoy it. Anyway, let's carry on. Thingamajig also warning me that my mic wasn't on. That's because I was doing the computer stuff and out for a cig. Homesick Alien saying flawless drive, Bazza. It definitely was, leading from lights to flag, no mistakes. I mean, we caught a glimpse of him having a little wiggle, but no mistakes, and we've seen him out practicing on his medium tyres, and he's a second and a half faster than Daz already. Wow. And also nice drives from Thingy and the Talaran boys. Thingy had an awesome drive. Noxie also starting at the back of the field. He definitely had a good drive there. So then, let's have a quick update on the table. I'll grab my laptop. So Noxie is still in the lead with. So what I've done is I've taken their current drop scores and just added this round to them. Mainly because we don't know if they're going to end up dropping this round or not at the moment, and the final table will be released in due course along with the rest of it. If you do ever want to see our tables instead of just hearing them, please head to www.https all the colons / not really, head to or Google virtualracerclub.co.uk, all one word apart from the .co.uk bit, and you go to the leagues channel and you can then catch up with our leagues, and you'll see our very nicely made tables made by Talaran. So anyway, let's hope quickly. Noxie is in the lead with 128 points. Daz in second place with 111. Ensign Hewitt in third with 107. Jim with 107 too. So lots to battle there for. P3 in the table. Baz, after that fantastic win, is only 2 points behind Jim. So again, lots to fight for. In fifth place with Barry Twins. Koi Carp with 84 points in sixth. Thingamajig with 71 in seventh. Bandit with 61 in eighth. Pat in ninth with 60, so he can he probably will jump his teammate tonight. With Yokas again not showing up tonight, so he's in 10th place. Right then, let's I do love the little R and Y war that me and Thingamajig have going on. Ensign Hewitt, I'll be getting my novice sticker back on the back of the car. No mate, it was a mistake. We only imposed that for repeated negligence, shall we say. To be fair, I think there's only been 2 drivers we've put. R is for race car time. No, that's RCT then, wouldn't it? For race car time. So R is for raspberry, which is isn't it? But yeah, I believe there's only 2 drivers we've given back the novice sticker. Again, anybody who's new drivers, we ask them to display a novice decal on the rear of their car. It just shows everybody that they're settling into our rules and may not be familiar. How fast they are. Everybody who joins the club has to have one, and if we deem it necessary, we request that they reuse it again, just to help make everybody aware that they're not quite up to speed. So anyway, as we head off into the feature race, this is a reverse grid. Again, they have to use the medium compound tyres, and Pat leads them away with Ensign Hewitt in second place, Coy Carp in third, who again had a really quite a good race. He was scrapping away there. Surprised he ended up finishing so a bit far down with Daz in P4, Thingamajig in P5, immediately being put under pressure by Jim. Noxie in P7, and Baz, who the congratulations for winning the first race. Now you're going to go back to the back of the grid and fight your way through. So Jim straight away is on Thingamajig, taking up the inside line into turn 3. Thingamajig still with his nose out front. Is there going to be room left? There is room left, but now it's going to be a drag race down to turn 3. And the pairs go side by side. This is my problem with commentary. I think the words, but my mouth won't get them out. So Thingamajig still keeps it just about ahead of Jim going into turn 3. Brakes a little bit too late, gets a little bit of a slide on, but manages to keep it on the track. Is that Ensign Hewitt? Ensign Hewitt has just passed Pat on the exit of turn 3. Next up for Pat will be Coy Carp, and we know that Coy Carp can race. Daz still maintaining a good gap to his teammate. Thingamajig still under grief from Jim, so much grief. He's managing it well. He's keeping his head on with Noxie closing in on Jim. I assume that there won't be team orders, or will Noxie be looking to help out his teammate in the battle against Ensign Hewitt for third place in the championship? With him and Ensign on the same points, or will Ensign look to push to run away and get away as quickly as he can? And Barry Twins holding position. Doesn't look like he's gained much, doesn't look like he's lost any. Jim again looking like he's going to make a move on Thingamajig. Decides to back out of it that time. So let's have a look at what's happening up front. Ensign Hewitt pulling out 7 tenths on Pat. Pat not letting it go, but he's getting under increased pressure from Coy. Change the camera thing. There we go. Increased pressure from Coy. Pat. Looks like Pat's got a little bit of a squirm on coming out of turn 2. Let's have a quick look at their tyres, shall we? Ensign Hewitt racing mediums, Pat mediums, Coy mediums, Daz mediums. Everybody's going to be on mediums, aren't they? Is that Thingamajig making a move on Daz? Thingamajig makes a move on Daz. Wow, good. Keep going there, son. Let's have a look at what might have happened there, shall we? So it looks like Daz must have just got squirrely coming out of turn 2. And that's just given Thingamajig the pace to get past them. And now when I go back, they're all going to be changed again. There you go. So Daz is now ahead of Thingamajig. Oh dear. Sorry. This is why Thingamajig don't do replay very often. You always miss stuff. Now I see, so now I see. Coy Carp still chomping on the bit with Pat. Looks like he's making a move. No? I'll just see some in the distance. Oh no. They're half a second between them, and this is the battle. Daz with Thingamajig, with Jim, with Noxie, and Barry Twins is coming in for the action now. So Daz will Thingamajig look to make a move into the first corner. He pulls out to the inside line to come out the toe, but that gives Jim, allows Jim up the outside. No, Thingamajig makes the move. Textbook, brilliant and textbook. Loads of room given, loads of space. Didn't run wide. Beautiful racing, and that has also allowed Jim through against Daz. And Noxie looks like he's making a move on Daz. That first corner's really cost Daz big time, and now he's behind Noxie. Oh dear, looks like there might have been a little bit of a nudge, maybe, I don't know. No, maybe Noxie just outbroke himself a little bit and now has to slip behind Barry Twins. So Barry Twins up to P7, and now he's looking to make a move on Daz. He's got the outside line into the corner. He's having to sit just behind him, keep it nice and neat and tidy, and put him under some pressure. Ensign Hewitt, 8 tenths out ahead. Pat isn't there to get away, is he? He's coming up nearly to the end of lap 2, and Pat is not letting Ensign Hewitt get away. Pat has had some good races around here. Again, going back to the SSM, yeah, Pat had a good race there. I think it was the last race of the round, leading for most of the way, and lost it to somebody. I won't name names. Koi Carp still harassing Pat. Probably not really looks like he's closing in very much on him at all. These two again, Thingamajig and Jim, battling once again. Jim's got the inside line into turn 1. He's going to break himself. Yeah, break nicely. Thingamajig slots in behind, giving the race, giving the room. And slots in behind, hopefully for a drag race up to the turn 2. And looks like Barry Twins has got himself ahead of Noxie. No, because Noxie made a mistake. He was making a move on Daz. But anyway, Noxie's now making a move on Barry Twins. He's got the inside line into turn 2, but Barry Twins is wise against it. Breaks in his normal place. And says, well, if you want to make the move, you're going to have to make a lunge. And that isn't going to work at this time. But that's cost Noxie. And Noxie's been passed by Daz. And they're drag racing it down to turn 3. Daz in Barry Twins' toes, who's got the advantage. But he's on the outside line for the corner. Noxie breaks and takes a commanding position on the apex. There we go. Now he's starting to pull out a gap. So Ensign Ewart now 2 seconds ahead of Koi Carp. Koi Carp has got past Pat. Let's have a look. Probably missing it. Yep, missed it. I'm very good at this, am I? So Pat down to P3 now. He's 7 tenths behind Koi Carp. He looks like he might be on his ride down the grid. Thingamajig has got ahead of Jim by a second, so Thingamajig fighting with Jim has pulled out a second after making a move. Barry Twins now closing in on Jim. He's a second behind him. Look at these two pair at the back here, fighting for last place. Noxie and Daz. Tremendous amount of respect shown so far. Loads of room, loads of space, not banging doors. Noxie's having to slip in behind. He hasn't got the move on him into turn 1. And they're starting to lose ground to Barry Twins. Barry Twins now 1.3 seconds ahead of him. Oh, getting old. Noxie's making a move on the outside to turn 2, but he'll have to outbrake it and take the wide line round the corner, and Daz closes off the switchback, and they are as they were. Ensign Ewart 2.5 seconds ahead of Koi Carp, who's still ahead of Pat by a second. Thingamajig closing in on Pat. Is he going to take another scalp? I think Thingamajig will be looking for a podium. I don't remember if he got a podium or not in any of the rounds. No more chat. So Thingamajig definitely looking for a podium. He did say when we did the stream together for the round 3 replay that he was hoping to get more podiums and fighting for race wins than what he had done so far that season. And Koi Carp has just got himself ahead of Pat. No, he was ahead, wasn't he? Yes, because we were talking about Thingamajig closing down on Pat, wasn't we? But it looks like Pat has closed back up to Koi Carp. He's now on his bumper as they head up to the line. Let's have a look. Let's see if they're not. Yeah. So Koi Carp 1 minute 40. Must have made a mistake at some point in during the lap. Ooh, Pat broke a little bit late there. Didn't look like it affected Koi Carp too much, but this definitely affected Pat. Now Thingamajig's got a good run on him coming up the hill. He's well within the toe, 5 tenths with Jim. Jim's still only 6 tenths behind Thingamajig. I'll stay with Thingamajig. See if he makes a move. I bet he'll make a move into P3. Let's get on board. Pat runs wide on the exit of turn 2. You can see there in the camera that Jim is closing down Thingamajig, but Thingamajig is closing down Pat. Staying well within his toe, pulling out. Is that a distraction move or is he going to go for it? And it's a distraction move, and Pat goes straight on at the corner and allows almost everybody through. So Thingamajig up to P3, but he's still got to fight with Jim. Jim's still chomping on the rear end of Thingamajig for another podium finish. And again, Jim needs to finish ahead of Ensign Ewart. Ensign Ewart currently with the fastest lap, so Jim really does. He needs to finish higher than at least 1 place higher than Ensign Hewitt if Ensign Hewitt does keep and maintain the fastest lap. The question here really is anybody going to stop? We're 20 minutes left remaining, so 10 minutes into the race. So let's have a very quick rundown and have a look at some fuel levels, shall we? Or shall we stay on board, watch these two? We could watch these two all day, couldn't we, really? I think Jim just give Thingamajig a little nudge there into the corner. So Thingamajig again is right on Coy's bottom now. Yeah, let's have a quick run review, look at the fuel. So Ensign Hewitt, medium tyres, a little bit of a sliver down to, he's used a third of his tank. Coy Carp, just over a third of his tank. He's in a better position with fuel, but not a better position with tyres by the looks of it. Thingamajig has used a bit more fuel than Ensign Hewitt, so he might want to back off with that rev gauge. Start thinking about the fuel, start thinking about the long distance. Jim has used more, a little bit less fuel than Thingamajig. Barry Twins is on the same level as Ensign Hewitt, so he must have been fuel managing from the start. Noxie, about the same as Barry Twins. Daz is a little bit more than Noxie, with Pat roughly about where Coy Carp is and Thingamajig. So Ensign Hewitt, I think, should take the same advice and back off the fuel a little bit. It's got a 4-second margin. Use that time to look after your tyres, look after your fuel, especially if you're 2 more laps. He's going to have to, if he wants to no-stop it, he's going to have to manage it quite heavily for the rest of the race if he wants to no-stop. Coy Carp still under pressure from Thingamajig. Thingamajig is on fire today. He must have been practicing, either that or Mini-Majig is racing for him. What do we reckon? Thingamajig practicing, or is Mini-Majig racing, or Mrs. Majig racing for him? Anyway, let's get offended again, shall we? That's why. Yeah. What we're doing. So Coy Carp still under pressure. Barry Twins looking to make a move on Jim. Makes a move, slides up the inside of the corner, gets the move done before the turning point. Lovely move. So Barry Twins now up into P4, and he'll be looking to catch up with Thingamajig and Coy Carp, but he is draining that fuel tank. Looks like Thingamajig is making a move on Coy. Got the inside line into turn 3. Brakes nicely. Gets that back end just to step out a little bit, just to help with turning, which is an ideal way of doing it. But it looks like Coy Carp's going to come back at him on the exit. But inside line will Thingamajig have. Oh my god, Yoda. So Thingamajig has the inside line for the next corner, but he lets Coy Carp go. He lets Coy Carp take the position, or keep the position. Unless he thought maybe there was something wrong there. I didn't see anything wrong, but this is just played into Barry Twins' hands. Barry Twins now really on the rear bumper of Thingamajig. Thingamajig again looking like he wants to line up Coy Carp for a move. Instead, moving into the middle of the track. Coy Carp misses the apex, but again, I think that's just cost Thingamajig time more than anything. Barry Twins is closing in. Barry Twins is tasting blood. He's had a sniff of one win. He wants another. And this little 4-way pack of cars here, all lying astern. It's lovely when you see racing like this. Thingamajig's still trying to catch up with Coy, but Barry Twins is increasing the pressure, turning the screw, applying the paint. No, applying the paint, but he's trying to make it hard for Thingamajig. Thingamajig once again moving to the inside line. Is that a defensive move against Barry? Ooh, a nice little nudge on the exit. That's what we like. Help me on my way, please, sir. Thingamajig struggling to make any dent on Coy. He's still sitting in the slipstream. Daz and Noxie seem to have sorted themselves out now and stopped scrapping. With Daz taking the fastest lap with a 1:38.6. Daz halfway. We're coming up to halfway in the race, so let's have a look at this fuel situation. Just over 4 seconds, give or take. Margin over P2, 4.5 seconds. So, could go all the way. Could go all the way. Coy Carp getting purples and reds. He's just about over half a tank, so again, could go halfway. Ooh, Barry Twins going wide. Jim going wide. What happened there? Let's have a quick look. Oh, they were going side by side through the left-hander, and it just looked like maybe not quite enough room was given there, but it looked like Jim was immediately going to redress, which he has, and now Jim has fallen back into 7th place. Where's Pat gone? Oh, Pat's gone. Has Pat left the win, or has Pat just left the race? And again, this 4-pack now, with Noxie and Daz fighting each other in the middle of Jim and Barry after their little coming together. Barry runs a little bit wide, but he'll probably have dirty tyres after that little escapade where he goes over the curb, over the gravel. Daz now getting ahead of Noxie, or staying ahead of Noxie, but feeling like he can close in on Barry Twins. It's not ideal for Barry Twins to have been pushed back into these pair. Barry Twins though, finishing ahead of Jim. Oh, Barry Twins again, getting that snaky rear end. I caught the corner out the corner of my eye. Thingamajig still staying stationed behind Coy. Might be sitting there for tow, saving some fuel. Let's have a look, see what he's doing. No, he's still revving the balls off the car. Let's see if he does any lifting and coasting behind Coy Carp. It doesn't really look like it. It doesn't look like he's trying to manage his fuel, which suggests to me that he wants to stop. If you want to stop, now's the time to do it. You've got to do it this lap. With the 13 minutes remaining, you need to have the time to claw the time back that you're losing. Noxie's got ahead of Barry Twins. Just about, we missed it. Let's go back and have a look. Go back and have a look, shall we? So on the exit of the left-right chicane, and it looked like Noxie just had a better drive through it. Maybe Barry Twins a little bit traumatised from the previous lap or two with Jim. And we see there that Daz is lining up Barry Twins, sitting straight in his toe, following him like an arrow. So still nobody's pitted yet, so we can only assume that they're looking to go all the way with a no-stop strategy. Everybody on the medium tyres, everybody with just under half a tank. We've got 12 minutes remaining, which is, I'm not even going to try working it out, but Thingamajig getting purple sectors. That's how much the toe helps up going up the hill. It's got a better drive on Coy there coming out of the exit. It's right up the rear bumper. Is he going to try and make a move into turn 3? He pulls out of the toe to take the inside line. Coy Cart lets him. No wiggling, no funny business. Thingamajig brakes and decides to get in behind rather than trying to risk a contact and an accident, and it ends up losing a little bit of time. Noxie's still just ahead of Barry Twins, but Barry Twins is giving him some jip there, some grief, some pressure. Daz running a little bit wide out of turn 5, or through turn 5. Still setting purples though. Gets nice and over the curb. It's the way I do it, get over that curb. Well, I get over the curbs anyway and it ends up killing me. So what's that Pat saying in the chat? Just left the race. I wasn't getting anything good out of this one. It's a shame, Pat. It is tough when you jump straight in with no practice and stuff like that. Trying to push straight away is hard work, mate. It's hard work. Plus also the car. I mean, it's a nice stable car, but it doesn't suit everybody, and it most certainly didn't suit me. It would take me quite a while to get used to it. So yeah, I understand what you're saying there, Pat. It looks like Daz has just run wide and let Jim go up the inside of him. I didn't catch if that was a mistake or not. You guys would have done. So anyway, let's have a look at the front. Ensign Hewitt, 2.3 seconds. So that gap has come down by half. But now is the time to push now. So what we've got, just under half a tank, 11 minutes left. That's plenty of time, Ensign. Get your foot down, maintain your 2-second gap over Coy Carp, and you'll be okay. So Coy Carp still being harassed by Thingamajig. Thingamajig down to just above a quarter of a tank. What's Coy on? Coy's on just below half. So Coy's got loads of fuel left to rag it. Thingamajig in third with just over a quarter of a tank. Noxie's got about a third of a tank left. Barry Twins just below half. Jim just below half. And Daz just below half. So I think these guys at the back here have been fuel saving like mad and have plenty to push with for the remaining 10 minutes of the race. I think Thingamajig's the worst on fuel. Yeah, Thingamajig is going to probably have to stop, and he's probably going to be the only one to do it. leaving it late. But unless he might have it worked out in his head. He's quite clever for a guy who doesn't really race very much, but again, he's pulling out the toe. He's looking to make a move. He's got Noxie just behind him as well, so he's got to be wary of him. Always makes me nervous when you see them the side by side and one turns into the other. I don't know how Thingamajig doesn't wince every week watching this. So Koikart remains ahead of Thingamajig for P2, but Noxie is forever closing him down. I think Noxie's a real threat for Thingamajig's podium spot. Pat's also saying, I've not got a good history around here. The race I had in the Toyota was one of the few good races I've had here. It was a good race though, Pat. We will say that. It was a good race. A good battle. A hard battle. A fun battle. It was good. So Noxie still just sitting there. Is he the tiger player with his Frosties? Other cereals, sugared cereals are available. So I don't think we do advertise them. No, we don't. No, we don't. So there are other sugar-coated corn, flakes of corn, available in supermarkets everywhere. Oh, Koikart runs wide. Koikart runs wide. Is that going to give it open? Is it going to open the door for Koikart? Noxie's on the inside. Thingamajig on the outside. They're going to go 3 wide. 3 wide. No, Noxie decides to back out and let the other two have the way. Thingamajig runs wide a little bit. Koikart still maintains the inside line into the last corner, and they come out of it unscathed, but it looks like Noxie's got the run on Thingamajig. Thingamajig's looking to pull out to make a move onto Koikart again on the inside line into turn 1. Noxie goes to the outside. Barry Twins just slides it straight up the inside. Wow. I'm sorry guys, I've got to go back and watch that. That was awesome. Awesome. So we see there's a massive gap. Noxie moves to the left hand side. Barry Twins just brakes a little bit later, somehow manages to maintain it. Noxie runs wide on the entry, and Barry Twins just loses a massive gap and gains a place in one corner. Wow, the man is on fire. And we see these two still side by side. Barry Twins immediately making a move on Thingamajig, and now looking to make a move on Koikart, but he is on the outside line. Is it going to work, or is it going to not? Ooh, that's dicey. Them two side by side. Koi and I keep saying them two. Now they're 3 wide, and Thingamajig has come through. Wow, I've got to go and watch that again as well, because that was awesome. So Thingamajig, quite a big gap, but Koikart runs it wide a little bit, runs Barry a little bit wide onto the curb. Thingamajig gets his nose up the right hand side of Koi and slips on by into second place. Wow, that's all I can say about that. Anyway, let's keep going then, because chances are stuff. Barry Twins is now ahead of Thingamajig. Thingamajig's still in third place, battling with Koi. Now he's got Daz griefing him, with Noxie and Jim picking up the rear places, but this isn't over yet. We've got 6.5 minutes left. Sorry, Ensign, we're not seeing much of you today. I'll give you a quick whoosh. Whoosh. No, whoosh, whoosh. That one. Get there in the end. We get there in the end. His nice red helmet for his red car. Beautiful car. But we'll come back. So, Thingamajig's second place now. Oh no, what have I done? Why is the thing gone? Oh, what have I done? Left one, that one. No, because my bloody controller's turned off. Ah. Right, there we go. So Thingamajig in second place with Barry Twins, jumping at the bit behind him, just behind him as well. Starting to rinse their fuel now. So what's Thingamajig's fuel looking like? 3 laps remaining. That's going to be dicey. That's going to be very dicey, Mr. Majig. But I'm sure he's got a full handle on the situation and knows exactly what he's got to do to finish the race. So we see Barry Twins is being griefed by Daz. Daz looking to get his nose up the inside of Barry Twins. Ooh, a little bit of a nudge there into the corner, which pushes Barry Twins wide. Is Daz going to lift off and let him back past? Because that looks... Barry Twins with the inside line. Right, so now Barry Twins down to 4th place. Koi Carp back down to 5th, but he's still close enough to make a difference and give somebody help. I'm sure he will. With Jim now ahead of Noxie. The strange thing, the 2 Talaran guys behind here. Looks like Koi's trying to make a move on Barry Twins. He's pulling one way, pulling the other way, trying to distract Barry, but it doesn't work. Cool-headed Belgian. Very cool-headed, very calm, very collected, very gentle. Daz on the case with Thingamajig. Thingamajig's still maintaining 2nd place at the moment. Lovely racing. It's not close enough to make a move yet, but it could get a run into turn 3, because again, nice long drag race, nice long toe zone if you like, but with these 4 in a as closely packed as they are, they're all getting the benefit of each other's toe, and it actually compounds as you go back. Ooh, that looks close from Daz there. Daz looked like he might have just broke a little bit too late and nearly went into the back of Thingamajig, but it wasn't quite as close as what I think I'm exaggerating it to be. So Barry Twins still in the shout with the podium, with his 2nd podium of the night. Daz is sorry, I'm distracted. Daz is still looking for a way through Thingamajig. Thingamajig's putting up everything he can to keep hold of this second place. I know he would love a podium. It would give. He's absorbing all of the pressure. For a man that doesn't like racing in a pack, he's doing a good job tonight. Daz is moving to the inside to try and line up a move into turn 1. Thingamajig hits the brakes. Daz a little bit later. Ooh, there was a lot of space there given. But Thingamajig comes back onto the track, maintaining 2nd place. But be wary, mate. You're going to have cold and dirty tyres in the next corner. But Daz has now lined him up for the inside line into turn 2. With Barry Twins getting up in there as well. No, where's Barry Twins? No, Thingamajig. Oh my god! That looked like a bit of a bump and grind. Barry Twins has come out in 2nd place after all of that in turn 2, with Daz in 3rd, but they look side by side. Koi Carp now in 3rd, Thingamajig in 5th, but Thingamajig doesn't look like it's over yet. Thingamajig trying to make a move on Koi taking that tight inside line. Right, Z, can I see that? No, it was already after it. Should have pressed that in time, shouldn't I? So Barry Twins in 2nd, Anthony Newitt 6 and nearly 7 seconds ahead. Cruise into the finish. Barry Twins, fuel's flashing. 2 lap. Well, we'll see what time it is when they get across the line, but it's going to be tight. 15 seconds. I think they might only have 1 lap after this, and that's Barry Twins really tight on the fuel. Koi Carp loads of fuel, can afford to burn it. Daz has started flashing, but again he's got a lot more than Barry Twins there. Wow, what's happened to Thingamajig? Thingamajig is pitted. Thingamajig has had to come into the pits, didn't quite have enough fuel to make it. Such a shame. Oh no. Gutted for you, mate. Gutted. Ensign Newitt, 7.5 seconds ahead of Barry Twins. Barry Twins just ahead of Koi Carp. Again, Koi Carp would love the podium as well, so with Daz. Daz getting past Koi Carp on the run up to turn 2. Oh my god. Barry Twins under attack from both of the Team Psycho boys. Daz taking 3rd place with Koi Carp in 4th. And that's just bringing Jim and Noxie into it as well. So we've got nothing but action between now and the end of the race. I don't even know what to say. This is just absolutely brilliant racing. This is frantic. Whoa, Jim and Daz run wide. Wow, let's go have a look at that. Let's have a look quickly. Did we see it? Jim, Koi Carp. Jim breaks a bit late, getting over that curve, and they just no contact. They both just run wide. Wow. So that has put Ensign 8 seconds ahead. Barry Twins, nice healthy margin for 2nd. Koi Carp and Noxie, last couple of corners, car 23 versus car 24. They'd be like neighbours, didn't it? Coy takes the inside line into the second to last corner, but runs wide on the exit, and Noxie slips it out the inside into the final corner. As we come round, Ensign Ewart gets a lap of glory. Barry Twins, well done, sir. Second podium of the night. Noxie just about beats Coy Car up to the line. Dad's coming home in P5. Jim in P6. Thingamajig. I gotta say, I'm sorry about the pit stop, but that was a fantastic race. That was brilliant racing, mate. Well done. But Ensign Ewart has got the lap of glory, so we will sit here and we will watch Ensign finish off his final lap, his parade lap, his bow to the SS and MS Championship Season 1. Sorry, the Sir Stirling Moss Shield. So that was sweet. Do you know what though? We named it after Sir Stirling Moss. I believe the concept was that he was a racer, a Formula 1 racer. I know who Stirling Moss was, I just don't know a lot about him. Formula 1 racer that never won a championship, or one of the fastest or best drivers to never win a Formula 1 championship. Because as we said at the beginning, the idea of this was that these guys, you know, have won races or, you know, taken poles, fastest laps and stuff like that, but never won a championship. And it was decided to crown a new champion. And Ensign Ewart crosses the line to take the win, and a little bit of a photo finish there with his teammate Thingamajig, who decided to pull up towards the end there. So, but yeah, we got the Stirling Moss Shield to celebrate Sir Stirling Moss, and to celebrate all of our guys who race with us week in, week out, and despite however long they've been here with us, haven't had the fortune to win a championship yet. Obviously, loads of them, they all show promise. Like I said, most of them have won races. I think I stole Pat's first win in SSM. I can't remember now. Don't have stats in front of me. But yeah, well, I've got to say though, what a fantastic season, what a fantastic concept, and all of the guys have done themselves proud and done VRC proud, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable season. So let's just take a look at the final results for the final race of the season. Sorry, that was a burp. Ensign Ewart takes the win, and deservedly so as well, taking a lap of honour, a glory lap, a parade lap. Well done, sir. Barry Twins takes his second podium of the night with a second place. That was a mighty scrap. Noxie rounding off the season with another podium. Congratulations, sir. Well done. Coy Carp in 4th, Daz in 5th, Jim in 6th, Thingamajig in 7th, and Pat in 8th. Pat not finishing the race. But I've got to say that battle from 2nd to 7th was phenomenal. It was always changing. They were making moves left, right, and centre, and some of them were really, really, really good moves. Barry Twins in turn 1, that gap he was behind. I want to say Coy, Thingy, and Noxie, and then just swept it up the inside. Noxie ran wide on the exit, and Barry Twins just went through and took a chunk of time out of the two ahead of him. Massive chunk of time just lost. And I want a special mention to Thingamajig. We've seen him. He had a torrid time. We spoke before about his tantrum that he had in the chat about not being fast enough and stuff like that. But I think today, despite having to stop carry out a pit stop for running out of fuel, I think today, sir, you scrapped, and you scrapped hard, and I cannot wait to see you on track more in the future in 2023. So then, what have we got coming up? So GT West has finished. We've got round 9 of GTMC coming up on Thursday. I believe that Pat is looking to do some other things with Wreckfest and Rocket League and Formula One 2022 or 3. Just to give us something else over the Christmas period for those who want to go and race in other games. We've got Racer Brown's Christmas party, which I believe is on the 23rd, and I also believe that me and Thingamajig are going to hijack that and use it for the end of year awards. But we'll, on chat, laugh, joke, some banter, some racing. We'll see what happens, really, basically. Maybe some Y and R digs at each other. So that's Friday the 23rd, which is next Friday, a week Friday. It's a week Friday. Yeah. And then we've got, I don't know if there is any like one-offs other than what Pat's doing on Tuesday nights. I don't know if there's any other one-offs planned over the Christmas break. I'm sure somebody will do something. And that's just, GTMC round 9 and 10 next week and the 22nd, and then that's us wrapped up for Christmas, league-wise. Join us in the new year for new stuff. Well, I say new stuff, but I think I'm looking to go on to 7. I do have something lined up. I just need to work out the finer details for it, and then we'll be good to go. So, anyway, if you would like to come and join us on track in 2023 or over the Christmas period, head to virtualracersclub.co.uk or go down into the About section on this video, and there'll be a link to our Discord. Well, there's a link to the Discord on the website. Again, if you want to go and have a look at the league tables we have at the moment, they'll be up on our website as well, in the leagues channel, in the leagues page. But let's quickly just catch up with the chat, seeing as I ignored it after the race. Mr. Psycho saying, great drive, Dan. Should we call him Driving Dan now instead of Drifting Dan? That's Ensign Newitt. His other name is Big Dan, because apparently he's really tall. Barry Twins started off in the back. P2 was the best I could do, with a disappointed emoji. Mate, I wouldn't be disappointed in that. The Ensign had a good leap on you from the start, and after that fight to get through to P2, you did yourself proud there, mate. Matt Psycho also saying, great racing series, nice racing all. It was a very nice racing series. Barry again saying, nice driving, Dan, with hearts emojis. Ensign, which is Dan. Cheers, Matt. Cheers, Baz. Thingamajig, I did it for Team Guesty. Did it for yourself, mate. But yes, you did it for Team Guesty. Thingy, you did a marvellous job blocking us, says Barry. Blocking, great defending, mate. Great defending, great racing, considering he was trying to scrap and get past Coy Carp as well at the same time. Ensign Newer saying, dodgy brakes, Dan, more like. It happens to us all, mate. I mean, you're on chat with me most enough. You hear me go, as I'm going to go into the rear end of somebody, or as I think I'm going to go into the rear end of somebody. It happens. Happens. Racer Brown saying, great drive, Big D. Ensign saying, thank you. Barry, that what I mean. Noxie, well done everyone, some great racing. I think that's an understatement there, I think, Noxie. Anyway, I've been through what we got coming up, which is not a lot, really. Let's say thank you to Talleyrand. Let's play again sometime. I did it for Team Guesty, well done all. Ensign, you're the best teammate. Talleyrand, thank you for organising, it was a blast. Yeah, so join Thingamajig on Thursday. As I said, the things with Pat on Tuesdays I don't think will be streamed, because I don't know what games Thingamajig has, or if anybody else wants to get in on this lark. I like my toast. Okay. So yeah, that's what we've got coming up on Tuesdays. Thursdays we've got the last 2 rounds of GTMC at Yamagawa and Nürburgring GP. one of my favourite tracks in the game. Well, two of my favourite tracks in the game. My favourite, which is Yamagiwa, and then Nürburgring is up there with amongst my favourites. Then we've got Christmas break, and then join us in the new year for some other stuff. Probably on GT7 for most of it, I'd imagine, seeing as now GT7 seems to have sorted itself out. Thank you very much for the guys who competed in this season. It's been fantastic, it really has. Thank you very much for Talleyrand, to Talleyrand for hosting and for organising this fantastic season. Thank you very much for Thingamajig for letting me come and completely destroy all of your hard work on the YouTube channel with 4, because the season 3, the Maggiore stream was brilliant. It was more like a pit stop just with a stream, just sitting there chatting, laughing. But yeah, sorry for ruining your YouTube with 4 abysmal streams. And yeah, thank you everybody who's watched and everybody who's put anything on the chat and given me support and everything like that. Thank you very much. Yeah, not much else to say other than happy racing.